So the beginning of WrestleMania is Saturday, tomorrow. As of when we're recording this, we just finished watching SmackDown.
Yeah. I actually liked how SmackDown ended tonight.
Yeah, it's actually a really good ending. Because we're not used to SmackDown having to go immediately into WrestleMania, like the next night. So
that's another interesting thing about it.
That last segment was pretty dope, though.
Like, yeah, they actually utilized the empty arena to their advantage, and I really like that.
Yeah. However, I am upset about the dude apparently telling the truth about Mandy Rose and Otis. It smelled a lot like Dark Order to me. Hopefully, it's just a one-off.
Wait, what happened with Mandy Rose and Otis?
Oh, well, it was revealed that Sonya set up Dolph Ziggler to take Otis' spot. And she texted Otis. She texted Otis from Mandy Rose's phone. Told her she's going to be late. Otis replies. Therefore, sends Mandy on her way. Texts Dolph Ziggler. Meets him in the back. Sends Dolph Ziggler to the date.
Wow. Sonya Deville's wild foul for that one.
Yeah, she is.
Mad foul. That's upsetting. My feelings are hurt. I was rooting for Otis.
Well, Otis might have a shot now. Otis might have a shot now, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, Otis need to pull up from 40 again, dog. He know he can do it. Like, he did it once. Yeah, why not do it again?
Because the video shows Mandy Rose calling him cute.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he goes, he's big. He's really big, but he's cute. And I was like, yeah.
She wanted her a teddy bear. You know what I'm saying?
She wanted to feel the cuddles. She did.
She don't need a loser like Dolph Ziggler. When's the last time Dolph Ziggler won a match?
Dolph ain't been relevant since the 50s.
that was around that time he beat Buddy Rogers for the championship, correct?
Yeah, and you know, Gorgeous George was the enforcer.
and who can forget that robbery he had with Luthez?
Man, him and
what a robbery!
What a robbery! And the war of words he traded with Freddie Blassie. That's on that geek. He was the first on that geek.
Well, hold on now. Dolph Ziggler had some points. Points were made.
Jesus Christ. And you call it Braun Strowman versus Goldberg made me upset. Is Goldberg about to drop the title to Braun?
All right.
No, I don't think so.
All right, hear me out. Just hear me out.
Make it quick.
He does drop the title to Braun, right?
Uh-huh.
But after he drops the title to Braun, what competition does Braun have? And I think that's going to be the allure of that championship run, because Braun is legitimate enough to be considered a powerhouse that can't be stopped. So the only person that would basically stop him would be like the likes of Brock Lesnar or so on and so forth. So you take the title away from Goldberg. The championship is back on the show full time. And then you have him literally run through it for about a year until you can build somebody up of relevance to take the title from him. As it should be. Now, the thing is about this title run is that it's going to be a slow title run. Why? Because, again, who does SmackDown have?
That and this virus messes stuff up too. So
that's another thing.
Because we all know who the
Braun Strowman could win the championship at WrestleMania and be championship until further notice. Meaning he can have a title run that runs for the duration of this virus.
Yep. Because we all know who the real champion is supposed to be.
which that would be unprecedented, and that would be a way to come back when this is all said and done. Hopefully, it's all said and done soon. But apparently, after WrestleMania, they're going to cease shows. So we're going to be in, unless AEW keeps going, in a bit of a wrestling drought in the near future.
Oh, so they confirmed they're stopping shows.
That's what I'm hearing.
Wow. Okay.
So, if that is to happen and it ends with Braun being champion, I personally think it'd be funny as hell, because once we do hit the reset button on everything, we're gonna come back and realize Braun's champion.
Yeah.
I think that's a pleasant surprise to come back to. No.
No. Not at all. Start the show.
You come back, always be like, who's champ? And then next thing you know, years, Braun! Everybody's like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Carlos.
I can't wait. I cannot
Carlos.
wait. Live via satellite, it is Gorilla Gang Podcast. I am your empathetic yet foul-mouthed half of this show. Gaithersburg's favorite son, young raspy god, Carlos Crawford, a.k.a. Chin Music Charlie. I've been asked how high I can kick. My record is 6'9" where his chin was, a.k.a. Fit Flair. You can ask any woman in town. I'm a 60-inch waist man. Woo! a.k.a. Snack Miller. Why you fucking up my good mood? The Beamer used, but it looked new. Your raps dry as overcooked food. My shit is kaboom. I took shrooms. Now I'm playing dodgeball in the crooked room. a.k.a. Gelato Graham. I'm a champion in 2 games. Football and growing. a.k.a. Haystack West. Moves, they say if you wear a bandana around your face, you can't get the chlora. But then I'll look like an outlaw. Bad business, Moves. Let's call us a bad business. Well, by the by, go ahead and introduce yourself to these people.
Oh, I guess I'll give it a shot. My name is Kenneth Whitaker, a.k.a. Hendrix Solo, the original owner of Millennium Falcon. Yeah, Kyle Rizian, how's that feel? Don't feel too good, does it?
I would say the complete opposite of the mood of this song.
Yeah, pretty much. And I know what you're thinking, Kyle Rizian. Did he put harm to this? No, I killed him quick.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Man, this is best friend. I can talk about her. A.k.a. the last Black Jedi. I do or do not, there is no try. You try me, I'm going to make you catch coronavirus. Not really, because I don't know how that works. Because I don't have any. Speaking of which, a couple weeks ago, somebody threatened to cough on a cop and give him coronavirus. And you know they made that as like a threat, right? So you know she got arrested. Hey, the Black Hot Rod, you do not throw rocks.
I shouldn't be laughing.
Got a machine gun.
Oh no.
Alrighty then. Let's just leave it on. AKA Nacho Man, I'm a stand. Everybody's in isolation under this here quarantine. Nacho Man is taking advantage of the time. Like loading up all the Slim Jims I can possibly need. Yeah. And the good thing about this quarantine is there are no holes to Nacho Man's moves. The Nacho Man isn't worried about holes right now. Everybody's under isolation. no one can exit outside because there's a curfew in Maryland. Yeah, I heard that everyone had to be home at 8 p.m. But the Nacho Man doesn't necessarily stay home at 8 p.m. But at 8 p.m., 8 p.m. means the Nacho Man goes to the refrigerator and he makes some nachos with cheese. Oh, yeah.
As he should. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Nacho Man, I'm a Savage, live from his kitchen, which is secluded from the rest of the country.
Back to you, cheese too hot. That's funny. AKA Mr. Go Slick Vodka. Yo, look at those nips. Can you imagine a world if we didn't have to hide our boners? That's the kind of world I want to live in. I actually want to see it instead of being grossed out by them.
Why, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I do chase my alcohol with more alcohol.
This man drinking Dos Equis. AKA the very sexual, the very tight.
Very tight, yes.
Austin Powers Faja.
Wait, is Faja?
Dad is Faja.
Oh. Father.
Dad, I have a surprise for you. Open the tank. Open the tank! Are those actually sharks with laser beams attached to their heads? You mean I have freaking sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their freaking heads? Cool.
Go. The trail off is what makes it. It's the trail off. Cool.
Hey, bro. AKA the incomparable Bill Cosby. See those? You keep buzzing the living legend. Even when I enter rooms, the sound of success follows me. I just get all kinds of energy when I hear the sound of success in action. Oh, yes, it's a hard time though. During this quarantine, there are no bars open for me to express my talent. But one thing's for sure, and two for certain, that as long as there are pills and water, I'll be there. And you know what happens when the pill touches water? We are back.
I don't know how much longer I can deal with this. Also, the tequila's kicking in.
You're going to keep dealing with the sound of success. You're lucky I can't put it in tequila. Bibbidi boop, I dropped a pill in your soup.
Jesus Christ.
So, do you ladies come here often? Oh my gosh, what's that going on over there? What? Ah! I can just picture like this man Cosby, bro, like sitting at the bar, like leaning. You know, the Cosby Show was on its 7th season. Wow, really? You know, I think you girls would be perfect to play my daughters. Wait, what's all that ruckus over there? What ruckus? Did you hear something? I didn't hear anything. Why don't you drink your drink before we get something watered down?
He must be stopped. He must be stopped. So listen. You know what this week is, Kenny?
Yes, I know what this week is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you this week's bracket episode.
Yeah.
Today's subject matter: greatest boxer of all time.
Me, goddammit. It.
So, here's how I did it.
I'm the greatest boxer of all time. Because I look like Floyd Mayweather in the head.
So here's how I did it. I separated them into 4 regions. The first region is the 50s and earlier. Second region is the 60s and 70s. Third region is the 80s and 90s.
Nah.
And the fourth region is the modern era.
Are there any pills in this bracket?
You should know better. So, with that being said.
My bad. I'm done. He won't come back to the end.
Each boxer, I went with their prime year. So, for example, Mike Tyson, 88. Or Muhammad Ali, 1971. That is these fighters at their best and their most lethal at in their time. So,
really, 71?
With that being said, you said what?
71 for Ali, really?
You gotta remember, Muhammad Ali fought a short amount of fights before he ended up going to jail.
I know.
In which he was in jail until 1970-71. Then from 71 on, he probably lost maybe 1 fight to Ken Norton. And he was bullying him, for example.
I was just thinking about when he beat Liston.
1965. But everything after that was kind of like, he didn't really face anybody after that. That's another thing. Yeah. The strength of schedule in that span, they were winning. Because a lot of these boxers, their primes are the span in which they had the longest winning streak. So, with that being said, it's not just one weight class; it's multiple weight classes. We're going to put the size difference and power and speed based off of, height and weight because of the weight class, so on and so forth. We will compare the 2 fighters in the matchup as if they take their opponents take the, damage that they would usually deal in a fight within their weight class. All right. Another factor that will come into play, it's a kind of a swing factor, will be their win-loss records, followed by their number of knockouts, if need a tiebreaker or anything of that sort. Also factored in will be their key elements and key factors that, help them win their fights. So, for example, the likes of Rocky Marciano and Jack Dempsey, they can take an ass whooping. But they rarely go down. Or, Muhammad Ali's speed and grace. The fact that Mike Tyson is technically a murderer in a boxing ring. so on and so forth. With that being said, the number one seeds in the region are the best in that region. Everybody else, I kind of like set up to where they're just, excellent matchups. So let's take a look at the bracket. Starting in the 50s and earlier era. So the turn of the century era, as I like to call it.
The old heads.
Yes, the old heads. We have Rocky Marciano from 1949 versus Jack Johnson from 1908.
Damn.
Oh yeah. That's going to be a good match because Rocky Marciano, he never lost a fight. However, Jack Johnson knocked motherfuckers out left and right. And he was pretty goddamn cocky about it because he was the only nigga that could knock motherfuckers left and right and not get lynched for it. I'd be cocky too. Next matchup. Sugar Ray Robinson from 1947 versus John L. Sullivan from 1884.
Boy.
The third matchup in this region, we have Joe Louis from 1942 versus Pat Patterson from 1955. And
Pat
the last
Patterson
match,
or Floyd Patterson?
Oh, excuse me. You're right. Floyd Patterson, 1955.
Yeah, dang.
I mean, that kind of would have worked too because Pat Patterson was like Intercontinental champion.
No, it would
But
not.
anyway.
Don't even try to go. But keep going.
All right, the last match in that region is Jake LaMotta from 1945 versus Jack Dempsey from 1919.
I thought Jack Dempsey fought somebody else, so that was Jack Johnson.
Yeah, that was Jack Johnson.
Okay. So
now,
I'm guessing Lewis is in the 60s bracket.
In the 60s and 70s bracket, we have our first seed, of course, Muhammad Ali from 1971. So Rumble in the Jungle Ali versus Carlos Monzon from 1972. Why I made this matchup? Because essentially Muhammad Ali whoops the asses of everybody else in his region, other than maybe one or two people, in which we'll get to that in a second. Next match in that bracket, Sonny Liston from 1964 versus George Foreman from 1971. Next match in that bracket, Archie Moore, 1960 versus Joe Frazier, 1975. And the last match in that region, Larry Holmes in 1981 versus Ken Norton, 1972. Going into the 80s and 90s region, our top seed, of course, Mike Tyson from 1988 versus Roberto Duran from 1980.
Ooh.
Second match in that region, we have Sugar Ray Leonard from 1980 versus Julio Cesar Chavez from 1991. Okay. The next match in that region, we have a boxer of your namesake, Kenny. Pernell Whitaker from 1990 versus Oscar De La Hoya, 1998. And the last match in that region, we have Evander Holyfield from 1990 versus Tommy Hitman Hearns from 89.
Lord.
Now, the final region, we have...
How was someone supposed to pick from these?
Yeah, right? So the top seed in that region, we have Floyd Mayweather from 4 years ago.
That's funny.
Versus Shane Mosley in 2004. I had to see that matchup again. I'm sorry. Next match in that region, we have the battle of the heavyweight dreadheads. Deontay Wilder from 2018 versus Lennox Lewis from 2002. Next match in that region, we have Roy Jones Jr. from 2001 versus Manny Pacquiao from 2009. And in our last match of the entire bracket, we have Bernard Hopkins from 2001 versus Felix Tito Trinidad from 2000.
Wow.
Now, Kenny, while I pack a bowl, go ahead and give me your prediction from each region.
Who's coming out?
Who's coming out?
The old heads, I'm thinking Ray Robinson might come out that one.
Right.
Modern, that's Ali.
You mean 60s, 70s?
60s, 70s, yeah, Ali.
Okay.
80s, 90s. I gotta remember who was in there again. It's gonna be between Ray Leonard and Tyson.
This is fun. I like this. This might be our best bracket yet. I want to make a goddamn bracket, man. Listen.
It's gonna be between Ray Leonard and Tyson coming out of that one.
And in the modern region.
Yeah, the last one is looking like Mayweather might have a shot. And Roy might go far. I think Roy might go far in that.
Yeah, Roy's looking like my Cinderella as well in this one.
I'm thinking it's going to be Roy versus Mayweather to get to that Final Four spot.
My Final Four prediction: Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Bernard Hopkins.
Really?
I hate Floyd Mayweather that fucking much. All right, so let's get into it.
Don't be biased, goddammit. Come on.
I will. But only for Floyd Mayweather. Only for Floyd. Floyd Mayweather is like Tom Brady to me. I hate him.
You one of them people. Go on, start us off. Whenever you're ready.
I'm starting myself off. Calm down. All right. So we're starting to turn to Century region.
Old head region.
We have Rocky Marciano from 1949 versus Jack Johnson from 1908. Now, here's the thing, right? Rocky Marciano's never lost a match.
Correct.
However, Jack Johnson whooped white people's asses left and right. I mean, what can you say? I mean, yeah, he's taken 11 losses, but, you know, I don't know. So it's like, here's the thing. Yeah, Jack Johnson can bully motherfuckers, but Rocky Marciano can take an ass whooping.
Indeed. I don't know.
That being said,
I feel like
Marciano by decision. What?
I feel like Marciano wins this one, man.
By decision. Yeah. That's the only way it ends. Because the thing is that while Jack Johnson has the knockout power, Rocky Marciano is immune, essentially. So that's going to get him far in his own region. Now, next match, Sugar Ray Robinson from 1947 versus John L. Sullivan from 1884. I personally think this is a good match because John L. Sullivan was one of the last bare knuckle boxers.
Mm-hmm. I still think Ray Robinson wins. It'd be a good fight, but Ray Robinson will win the fight.
Well, you know why I picked 1947 in particular for Sugar Ray Robinson?
Why is that? Tell us.
Because Sugar Ray Robinson killed a man in 1947 in the ring. He knocked the motherfucker unconscious, and he later died.
Damn.
With that being said, he found out that Cuz was doing the fight to buy a house for his mom. So the next 4 fights that he won in, he bought his opponent that he killed, his mom, a house.
Noble man he was.
Absolutely. All right. So Sugar Ray Robinson advances. We have Joe Louis from 1942 versus Floyd Patterson from 1955.
This one was tough. Because Floyd Patterson was really dope. But Joe Louis.
Here's my thing,
Louis, bro.
Here's my thing, right? In theory, not even in theory, Floyd Patterson doesn't stand a chance against Joe Louis. And here's why. Because Floyd Patterson had a peekaboo type of fighting style. So he, tried to pick and choose his punches for the most part. That's not some shit you're going to get against Joe Louis because he's going to bully you throughout the entire fight. And he's going to start with your body. Once he starts with your body, once he feel like, I can knock you out in one punch, he's going to do it.
Right.
So Floyd Patterson would literally have to duck and dodge his way out of that fight, in which he wouldn't get many punches off for real because he's doing so much of that ducking and dodging. He'll, try to counter punch his way out of it, but you can't counter punch a barrage like Joe Louis because he had a very meticulous way of bullying motherfuckers. It wasn't like Mike Tyson, where Mike Tyson threw accurate punches, yes, but you knew that the knockout punch was coming very soon. Joe Louis picked and chose when he was going to knock you the fuck out. And until then, he was going to, tire you a little bit. But the thing was that in the time that he spent, tiring you out, he never got tired, really.
Right.
So I think Louis advances.
Yeah, I just feel like it'd be a tough fight, though. But Joe Louis will win the fight, though. Definitely.
No doubt.
Yeah,
Last match of the region, Jake LaMotta from 1945 versus Jack Dempsey from 1919.
Man.
That's a
brawl. That's a straight up slugfest. I'm leaning LaMotta, though.
Well, here's the thing. Jack Dempsey was a bully in his own right as well. And not only that, he had a formidable chin. They call it the toughest chin in boxing history. However, Jake LaMotta embraced ass whoopings. Like, we talked about how Rocky Marciano can take an ass whooping. Jake LaMotta was a pig in shit when he was getting his shit rocked. So it all becomes a matter of, whether or not the ref stops the fight. Now, let's say this match doesn't end in stoppage and it goes all, 12 to 15 rounds. Now, Jake LaMotta takes a beating throughout these rounds. However, he's also beating the shit out of Jack Dempsey, too, in the process. However, it ends up being Dempsey by split decision.
That's what you think so?
He wins by split decision because Jake LaMotta's ass whooping is visible, while Dempsey's was on the scorecard.
I guess. I feel like LaMotta.
That just makes no sense to me.
I feel like LaMotta would take the fight, but hey.
You think LaMotta would take the fight?
I think he would.
How does he do it? By decision?
Yeah, decision. But yeah, he got it. You can see it. He got beat, but you can see it with Dempsey too. Like, yeah.
All right, I'll take LaMotta. I like that match. I like that next match anyway. So yeah, we'll go with LaMotta then. So the next region will be the 60s and 70s. We have Muhammad Ali from Rumble in the Jungle versus Carlos Monzon in 1972. One of these boxers are the more well-known boxer. We already know Muhammad Ali by 1971.
Yes.
Especially. However,
we know Ali advances.
I mean, yeah, but it's, also pervious, I guess you could say, that we also mentioned Carlos Monzon and how that could possibly be a solid fight. Because
that would be a solid fight. I just know who wins.
Well, here's the thing, though. Because Carlos Monzon was known for not only, his punching power, he was nicknamed Escopeta, which is shotgun in Spanish. So there was power behind his punches. However, he was also known for his speed. And he worked. Like, his, punch output was very high. So you have somebody with a high punch output, and when he lands, they hurt. You know what I'm saying? Hurt more than a Muhammad Ali sting. It becomes a very interesting fight. However, Muhammad Ali also has the rope-a-dope to his disposal, in which eventually, no, Carlos Monzon doesn't get tired off the rope-a-dope. He actually is enjoying the rope-a-dope. So now Ali has to figure out another way to beat him, to, outbox him. So now Ali is using his reach to beat him. So now he's tagging the shit out of Carlos Monzon off jabs and straights. He gets a couple of hooks and uppercuts in, maybe. But in that turn, Carlos Monzon catches him with, solid uppercut, like stunning uppercuts. So that it would behoove Ali to keep his outside fighting game and not try to play Carlos Monzon's game, which was never Ali's MO to try to play anybody else's game. He saw to it that anybody he fought would try to play his game. Right. Just based off mind gaming them before the fight even started. So, yeah, Ali takes it, but it's not an easy one. Next match in the bracket, next match in the region will be Sonny Liston from 1964 versus George Foreman in 1971. Now, this is the George Foreman that lost the Rumble in the Jungle. However,
that shouldn't have lost.
However, after that, he goes on a rampage, which includes lifting Joe Frazier off his fucking feet. So, Foreman at 71 was still a force to be reckoned with. However, you have Sonny Liston in 1964, who can knock a person out with a jab. And the jab is supposed to be a setup punch.
Indeed.
And George Foreman has even said himself that Sonny Liston has the most formidable jab that he has taken from another boxer. I think that says enough.
Yeah.
So Liston advances.
Give it to him. Why not?
All right. So now we have Archie Moore from 1960 versus Joe Frazier from 1975. These are two boxers that use the cross defense, in which Archie Moore originated and therefore is more formidable in that defense. Now, Joe Frazier had a left hook. But the thing is that Archie Moore, he has a very low punch output because whenever they landed, they were detrimental to you being knocked out. Like any one of Archie Moore's punches could have been a knockout punch from any part of the, head or body. Right. So Joe Frazier would have to completely avoid getting hit by Archie Moore. But if Archie Moore hits him once, he's immediately on stun mode.
Yeah, Frazier, you know what I'm saying? Frazier can't.
You said what?
Frazier can't avoid getting hit. He can't.
You said he can't?
He can't.
I mean, it's questionable because Muhammad Ali was tagging his ass in Thriller in Manila.
Exactly.
Then not only that, again, George Foreman lifted his ass out of his feet.
Exactly. That's what I said. Frazier can't avoid getting hit. He go get hit.
So Archie Moore knocks Joe Frazier the fuck out. And it's probably off of a body shot, too. That's the crazy part about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Archie Moore advances. So now we have Larry Holmes in 1981 versus Ken Norton in 1972. Now, this is a very underrated match because Larry Holmes is a bully in his own right. Both of these boxers have knocked Muhammad Ali out.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very interesting match when you have that little tidbit thrown in there as well. However, I personally will give it to Larry Holmes for the simple fact that Ken Norton's career, I would give it to Ken Norton because Larry Holmes' career was not mediocre by all means, but Ken Norton had essentially the better career.
Yeah, Larry Holmes' career was average.
Quite. So yeah, Ken Norton advances. Now, it's not a landslide. It's close. It ends by decision.
Yeah.
Now, we get to the 80s and 90s. We have Kid Dynamite Mike Tyson from 1988 versus Roberto Duran in 1980.
Listen, Duran had knockout power in them hands, boy.
Duran had hands of stone. He could also take an ass whooping too.
We also got to remember, Ray Leonard beat him to the point that man said no mas.
No mas.
And if Ray Leonard can do that,
well, the reason why Roberto Duran said no mas,
if you get tagged with a lot of power punches from Tyson.
Here's the thing, right? The no mas fight was, Sugar Ray Leonard was outright beating the absolute shit out of Roberto Duran. I'm not going to take that away from him. However, Roberto Duran also was struggling with the post weigh-in recovery. So when he had went to the weigh-in, he was weak at the weigh-in. So just to make weight. So after the weigh-in, he tried to, what's the word? Make up for that because he was just eating soup. So his mother was just bullying shit. So by the time he got to the match, he was, a little, I guess you could say, sluggish. So he wasn't at 100% during that fight. Because you got to remember, he did whoop his ass the year before.
I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's you take that in mind. However, Mike Tyson, again, his knockout punches look like he may have Sugar Ray Robinson somebody.
Right.
So Tyson advances, no brainer. Now we have Sugar Ray Leonard from 1980 versus Julio Cesar Chavez from 1991. I personally am going to take Sugar Ray Leonard because Julio Cesar Chavez, he was a top middleweight boxer, a legendary one, especially. However, Sugar Ray Leonard had the better opponents.
Yep.
I don't know, because Julio Cesar Chavez has fought the likes of Hector Macho Camacho. I think he's fought Oscar De La Hoya before.
He has fought De La Hoya before.
He has fought De La Hoya before?
Yeah, he fought De
who else? Yeah, he has fought Oscar De La Hoya before. Twice. And
Ray Leonard is the much better boxer.
Pernell Whitaker, Hector Camacho,
Ray Leonard is the much better boxer, though.
Roger Mayweather. But yeah, like you said, Sugar Ray Leonard is the more complete boxer. And by complete boxer, I mean that Sugar Ray Leonard was fundamental to a T. And even his ring psychology was fundamental. I don't think Julio Cesar Chavez is going to be able to beat those fundamentals.
Oh.
It's like watching the San Antonio Spurs.
Just not as boring.
So yeah, Leonard takes that one. Now we have Pernell Whitaker from 1990 versus Oscar De La Hoya from 98.
I don't even know where to start with this one. Honestly, I mean, I feel like
here's my thing, right?
Is a better boxer than De La Hoya is.
Pernell Whitaker was a fighter of the year for 3 years straight.
Yeah.
So it's like you take that into account. However, the Golden Boy has had much better opponents. Not only has he had much better opponents, he's actually defeated them in better ways than Pernell Whitaker defeated his opponent. Like Pernell Whitaker didn't really have that knockout power.
He also didn't need it.
He didn't. I mean, when you win your matches most of your matches by decision, of course you don't need knockout power. But every boxer has to have some type of knockout power. It's called closing the show. You got to know how to close the show. So if you're a boxer that literally depends on decisions, you're fucked if you come across somebody that is looking to, end the match early. You're fucked if you're going against somebody that can knock you out by round 11. And you have to figure out how to win the match in between that against somebody that can knock you out. So Oscar De La Hoya is one of those boxers that he doesn't have memorable knockouts, but last I checked, he has knockouts. And if I'm not mistaken, those knockouts are mid-round knockouts. Let me double check to make sure. 30 wins by knockout. So, yeah. Round 9, round 7. He had a round 11 TKO once. Round 5, round 7. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Oscar De La Hoya can close a show midway through a fight. So regardless, Pernell Whitaker is boned because he can't knock anybody out per se. I think Pernell Whitaker has knocked out in the teens, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably so.
Let me double check to make sure.
All right.
Now, correct. 17 wins by knockout. So, keep in mind that's 17 wins by knockout out of 40 wins. So, no, Pernell Whitaker did not have that knockout power. Oscar De La Hoya, however, did. So, it in my opinion, it goes to De La Hoya.
Well, give it to him.
So be it. Right. So, last match in that region, we have Evander Holyfield from 1990 versus Tommy Hitman Hearns from 1989. I think this is an excellent match because Hitman Hearns wasn't called Hitman for no reason.
Holyfield wasn't called the real deal for no reason.
Oh, the real deal he was. However, Jesus. Tommy Hearns went 61-5. In those 61 wins, Kenny, 48 of those wins were by knockout. Whereas Evander Holyfield has only won 29 wins by knockout and 44 wins.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like now it becomes a matter of who gets the best of who in that match. Because if Tommy Hearns gets the best of Holyfield, he wins by knockout. However, if Holyfield can put up with Tommy Hearns for a whole 12 to 15 rounds, Holyfield wins the fight. So it's a matter of where that, middle line is and what happens in that middle line. Does Tommy Hearns actually manage to get a duck and uppercut on Evander Holyfield? Or one of those devastating straights that he had? Or does Holyfield actually manage to hold off Tommy Hearns up until the 10th to 11th round and actually starts going for the drop? Because last I checked, Evander Holyfield was a late round knockout artist.
Indeed.
So this match in particular is a fun one. However, again, Tommy Hearns is, the more likely to knock Evander Holyfield out. So I kind of want to give it to Tommy Hearns, but I think Holyfield actually counterpunches his way through this match and wins by decision.
Me too.
Because the thing is that, and Mike Tyson has said it, and this was on Evander Holyfield's episode of Hot Boxing. He said that the thing about Evander was that every time Mike would throw a punch, he would think that, Evander would, just take that shit and return afterwards. However, as Mike Tyson would throw his punches, Evander Holyfield also throwing his punches. So Mike Tyson said that it was a matter of counterpunching where anytime I throw a punch, I'm getting hit before I can even land my punch.
Mm.
And that was his frustration against Evander Holyfield, which led to him biting his ear off. I think Holyfield takes it.
Indeed, I think so.
All right. So let's get to the modern era and wrap the first round up.
All right.
We have a rematch of the past, however, different years. Floyd Mayweather from 4 years ago in 2017, which was when people really started to take notice that, he couldn't be touched. Versus Shane Mosley in 2004. If you recall, Kenny, Floyd Mayweather and Shane Mosley have gone at it before.
I do.
In which the first half of the fight, Shane Mosley was outright beating the shit out of Floyd Mayweather. The absolute shit. And he completely went rogue on his game plan around the 5th or 6th round. Floyd Mayweather knocked him down, and it just went completely left from there. And if we're being honest, I think that match is what really started the, Floyd Mayweather era, if you will.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Mayweather definitely takes this one.
Indeed. Oh,
now,
well, fight? Cool.
You said what?
Oh, I said I didn't have to fight with this one? Cool.
No. I mean, like I said, I hate the motherfucker, but credit where credit is due. So, this next matchup, we have Deontay Wilder from 4 years ago in 2017 versus Lennox Lewis from 2002. This is also a good match because Deontay Wilder has one punch. But 9 times out of 10, that punch ends the match.
Yeah, but he gotta get it. And Lennox Lewis reaches crazy. He's not gonna let you
Lennox
come in.
Lewis has if I'm not mistaken, it was an 86-inch reach.
Yeah, you're not getting close to him.
Let me double check that to make sure. I lied. 84-inch reach.
You're not getting close to him.
Whereas Deontay Wilder is only 1 inch short. So it's like we have a 6'7" Wilder with an 83-inch reach versus a Lennox Lewis with an 84-inch reach standing at 6'5". Damn, that's a good match, actually, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell of a match. Because Lennox Lewis is shorter, but he has a longer arm. Deontay Wilder is technically a dinosaur. Huh. My thing is, Lennox Lewis could knock a motherfucker out with that hook.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like Lennox Lewis is the more complete fighter. Deontay Wilder has proven to us recently, might I add, that he can be exposed. And boy, exposed did he get.
He got exposed for real. He did. That man Tyson, a great white
Tyson
hope.
Fury realized he only had one punch, and all I gotta do is avoid that punch, and I can whoop his ass all night long. And that's exactly how that shit went down. So Lennox Lewis wins automatically because Lennox Lewis wins that match off of that mentality alone. He only has one punch, Governor.
Exactly.
So the next match in this region will be Roy Jones Jr. from 2001 versus Manny Pacquiao from 2009. Kenny, this is an excellent match. An excellent fucking match. Here you have Roy Jones Jr., who whooped your ass and would taunt you in the process of whooping your ass. And just when you think you were going to do something about it, he knocked you out. They call Roy Jones Jr. Captain Hook. You figure it out. Right? Whereas Manny Pacquiao's entire career spans 8 weight classes. And one could consider Manny Pacquiao, pound for pound, the greatest, one of the best boxers of all time. If not the greatest boxer of all time. However, I strongly disagree after we saw how he got knocked the fuck out. After that, he was the same. And then Floyd Mayweather proceeded to wash him for, a decision win. However, Roy Jones Jr.'s downfall wasn't pretty either.
No, it wasn't. But his was better than Pacquiao's.
His run was much better than Pacquiao's because his fighting style was very showboatish. It irked the nerves of his opponents, and it caused them to get out of character because of it. So whenever anybody got out of character because of that, Roy Jones Jr. knew how to immediately take advantage of that. However, Manny Pacquiao second guesses his punches sometimes, so where it looks like he's throwing a Parkinson's era Ali punch.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah. You need to push that fast.
I know. I crossed the line. I crossed the line.
You did.
I don't do shit, man.
I know you don't. What's the problem?
I'm wildin'. You know what I'm saying? To this day. To this day. God damn it. At any rate, so Roy Jones Jr. advances, in my opinion.
Yep.
Now, we have the last match of the first round. Bernard Hopkins in 2001 versus Tito Trinidad in 2000. In which Hopkins in a fucking landslide. Are you stupid?
Yeah, that's not even something to discuss.
Oh my God. They don't call Bernard Hopkins the executioner for nothing. I mean, at this point, we already know who wins this match, but I got to give you the information. So let's keep in mind that Bernard Hopkins is the oldest undisputed champion of all time. First and foremost. Second of all, 32 of his 55 wins were by knockout. And that's why they called him the executioner. Whereas Manny Pacquiao...
Bro, don't matter.
Whereas Manny Pacquiao, they called him the Mexicutioner.
No, don't got the same ring.
Doesn't have the same ring, but there's a reason behind it. And the reason behind it is a bit racist, but makes perfect sense. Because Manny Pacquiao ran flyweight, feather, light, and welterweight division. You know what I'm saying? He holds a record for being the only 4-decade world champion in boxing history.
Yeah.
So it's like you give Manny Pacquiao credit where credit is due. However, his boxing career, I mean his, I mean, hey man,
Hey.
62-7 with 39 wins by knockout. So it's like, and again, we're not comparing weight classes. So this is the punches that Manny Pacquiao is giving that would land on, say, I don't know, Marcos Maidana or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They hurt. They actually hurt. So,
we were on Hopkins and Trinidad.
We were on Hopkins and Trinidad, weren't we? I don't know how we got to Manny Pacquiao.
I was like, why are you talking about Pacquiao? I was like, okay.
Excuse me. Whereas Felix Trinidad.
I say, didn't Pacquiao lose?
Oh shit! This is actually a good match. Felix Trinidad went 42-3 with 35 of those wins being by knockout.
He's not beating Bernard Hopkins, bro.
I
don't want to hear any of that.
No, he is not actually. As of September 29th, 2001, Bernard Hopkins has Tito Trinidad's card. So, yeah, Hopkins advances.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of the first round. Second round, we have Rocky Marciano from 1949 versus Sugar Ray Robinson from 1947. Kenny, this is a good one.
I don't care what that record says. I'm taking Ray Robinson.
Actually, as a matter of fact, you would be right, I think. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think No, I'm thinking of Jack Dempsey. So, Sugar Ray Robinson, has he ever fought Rocky Marciano? In which I don't think he had.
All them fights, I don't think he has.
However, he's taking 19 ass whoopings too. So it's like, I don't know. I'm not 100%.
Oh.
I don't think he's ever fought Rocky. I don't think him and Rocky Marciano ever crossed paths. Nah, that's what it's like. Something like that.
And if they did, Robinson will win. I feel like he's a blemish on his record.
I don't know. Because Rocky Marciano's only won 6 matches by decision. So I don't know. I really don't.
That don't matter.
He said that don't matter.
Black
All right, so look at things. No, Rocky Marciano has never fought Sugar Ray Robinson.
Black power.
So with that being said, I say that to say this. Rocky Marciano went undefeated because he could take an ass whooping. However, in taking that ass whooping, he's dropping you as well. So it's like Sugar Ray Robinson would literally have to murder Rocky Marciano in order to win that match.
Which he's done before. So
Sugar Ray Robinson advances. Man, Sugar Ray Robinson is a Cinderella for the simple fact that him murdering a person in the ring is going to get him to the Final Four. No doubt about it. Not a doubt in my mind. All right, so next match we have Joe Louis from 1942 versus Jake LaMotta from 1945.
Black power, Joe Louis.
Joe Louis commits murder on Jake LaMotta. As a matter of fact, I think that's happened before.
I'm sure it has, probably.
Hold on. We'll get to it. Joe Louis. Yeah, give me his record. Hey, Kenny. Joe Louis got lucky.
So?
No. I mean, like, he got lucky Rocky Marciano didn't advance.
Because he lost to Rocky, huh?
Because Rocky Marciano got in his shit. Okay? That's that on that. Black power or not. That happened.
I don't care.
Like Tyson Fury got Deontay Wilder's shit. It happened. Nothing you can do about it. But accept it. With that being said, honestly, Joe Louis's biggest opponent was Max Schmeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, with that being said, Joe Louis's, allure kind of drops a little bit aside from Max Schmeling because he lost him the first match and then came back and beat him the second time. However, as far as Jake LaMotta goes, I don't. 83 wins, 30 wins by knockout. Fuck no. Jake LaMotta loses this match.
I'm about to say, you're doing all this. We know Joe Louis wins.
Yeah. Jake LaMotta doesn't even endure this ass whooping. I don't think.
What's the next match on the bracket?
So the next match will be in the 60s and 70s, which we have a rematch of 1965. Muhammad Ali, 71 versus Liston, 64. Now,
Ali's beat him twice.
Yeah, no, I can't even make an argument. I can't even make any
one
type
time
of
with
argument.
the TKO.
I can't even make any type of argument.
Ali literally stood over him, beating his chest.
Ali will
trying to figure out what the hell happened.
Ali will whoop Sonny Liston's ass every day of the week and twice on Sundays. So there's that. Ali advances. So now we have Archie Moore from 1960 versus Larry Holmes from 1981.
Archie Moore.
Yeah, Larry Holmes doesn't stand a fucking chance against Archie Moore. So yeah, Archie Moore advances. This is kind of unexpected. I did not expect Archie Moore to go far. I'm not gonna lie to you. So now in the 80s and 90s region, we have Mike Tyson from 1988 versus Sugar Ray Leonard from 1980. Oh, Kenny, this is such a good match.
It is a good fight.
This is such a good match because Tyson's trying to commit murder before round 4. That's that on that.
Mm-hmm.
However, Sugar Ray Leonard can also take a little bit of a beating. Not much of one, but he can withstand, any type of chance shots that he catches from Mike Tyson. All the while, ducking and dodging.
Tyson gonna beat him. Tyson gonna beat him. Tyson gonna beat him because all he gotta do is talk about his wife. And that's it.
Ray Leonard?
Yep.
I mean, in theory, could Ray Leonard also talk about Mike Tyson's wife around that era?
I mean, yeah, but it ain't gonna hit the same way it hit for Ray.
I mean,
because Duran did that and proceeded to whoop his ass.
I mean, I don't know, man. Mike Tyson was going to hit Robin Givens regardless, so it was going to hit the same. I don't know, man. But I just think that Sugar Ray Leonard, manages to duck and dodge him for a little while to the point where Mike Tyson now has to figure out how to not mind game him, but he can't close the show immediately now, and he knows it. So now he has to find out when is the right time to land that bomb. And the answer is the 6th round. Tyson wins in 6.
Yeah.
So, the next match is Oscar De La Hoya from 98 versus Evander Holyfield from 1990. This is a good one.
Yeah,
I like this one too. However, Oscar De La Hoya, if I'm not mistaken, is the better knockout artist. So that's one thing that's, we're standing things. Now, the thing is that De La Hoya's only won 9 matches by decision. However, if you look at his, track record, who he's beaten, not who he's faced, who he's beaten. Fernando Vargas, Arturo Gatti, Julio, a washed-up Julio Cesar Chavez, might I add.
Yeah.
Wilfredo Rivera, Hector Camacho, Pernell Whitaker, near over-the-road Julio Cesar Chavez.
Side note, Audacity just stopped.
Oh, God.
So I only hope is that YouTube works. So continue.
All right. So that's pretty much all Golden Boys had. Whereas Evander Holyfield, he actually has a bit of a track record on him, and a legitimate one too. I'm talking about whereas Oscar De La Hoya had 8 formidable opponents that he's beaten, Evander Holyfield has beaten Mike Tyson twice. He drew against Lennox Lewis before losing to him. He beat Michael Moore, Ray Mercer, Riddick Bowe, Larry Holmes, George Foreman, Buster Douglas. So it's like I may have to give it to Holyfield for real.
Yeah, it goes to Holyfield. Like, it's no question.
Yeah, no question. All right, so all right, we've reached our Elite 8. Let's go to the old head era.
Yeah.
We had in the final of this region, Sugar Ray Robinson from 1947 versus Joe Louis from 1942. Ooh-wee.
Here is something you can't understand. How I could just kill a man.
Oh, man. Ray Robinson advances. All right, that was easier than I thought it'd be.
The only person that can beat Ray Robinson is Ivan Drago.
Ivan Drago talk about if he dies, he dies, but it's him that ends up dying. Plot twist. I like a good plot twist. So the finals of the 60s and 70s region, we have Muhammad Ali from 1971 versus Archie Moore, 1960.
I can't believe Archie Moore made it this far.
Me neither. I don't believe it either. And
He
it wasn't
really
easy.
here. He's really here.
Well, yeah. But however,
the
Ali
run ends here, though.
Yeah, the run ends there because Archie Moore is an inside fighter, in which Ali is not going to let him inside.
Nope.
That's simple. It's literally as simple as that. Ali doesn't let him outside. Archie Moore can't bully him. And that's that on that. Ali advanced.
I'm wrapped in my blanket because I'm in home, and this is the luxury we have. Dude,
I'm not commenting on that. So in the 80s and 90s region, final round of this region, we have Mike Tyson from 1988 versus Evander Holyfield from 1990. Well.
Here we go again.
Wow. Just when we thought Mike Tyson was going to make it to the Final Four, Kenny.
Whatever.
He had stopped dead in his fucking tracks.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to my brother Zero, or whatever he said his name was, who died. Yeah, this fight was for him.
Wait, who?
I forgot what he said. The dude's name.
Okay.
Tyson said it. I want to give a shout out to my brother something who died.
All right, so here's the thing, though, Kenny. Here's the thing. Because this isn't 1996 or 1997.
My style is protector.
Mike Tyson has not gone to jail yet, and he is just making it to his prime. Whereas Evander Holyfield in 1990, he was just getting his footing, his foot in the door as far as, champion status went. And so during that time, he was actually trying to chase Mike Tyson down, in which Mike Tyson ended up going to jail, and Holyfield pretty much took over the heavyweight division while Tyson was in jail, and which he held on to when Tyson got out of jail. And in case you haven't noticed, Kenny, jail is what basically started Mike Tyson's downfall. Yes, did he have an undefeated streak fresh out of jail? Yes. But when he got to Evander Holyfield, that's when it all started to show, because Evander Holyfield exposed Mike Tyson. Now, with that being said, 1990 Evander Holyfield wasn't as experienced as 1996 Evander Holyfield.
No, he wasn't. They both younger in their primes. I'm giving, it to Tyson.
And here's why. Because there is a reason why. These are the Customato years for Mike Tyson.
Yep.
That's why. That gives Mike Tyson in 1988 an edge over Evander Holyfield, roughly in any era of Holyfield's career, if we're being honest. Because Customato, he was as unorthodox as Mike Tyson was. That's why they got along so well. That's why Customato was a father figure for Mike Tyson. And Tyson said on multiple occasions on Hot Boxing, Customato was a crazy motherfucker. And that's why I loved him.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the Customato effect. The reason why that effect was so intangible in Mike Tyson's career is because when D'Amato died, that started Mike Tyson's downfall, if you recall. Because after Cus D'Amato died, you have that match against Buster Douglas, in which Mike was undisciplined for. He ain't trained much for it. Because he thought he was just going to pull up, run fades, and slide out.
Mm-hmm.
And Buster Douglas gave him a run for his money, in which he won. After that, you see a change in Mike Tyson's fighting style. It's not a big change, but it's a very significant one as well. Because during the D'Amato years, Mike Tyson was fundamental in getting to the knockout. That was important to Cus D'Amato, getting to the knockout. Because he knew Mike Tyson had the power to knock a motherfucker out. That wasn't a problem. That was going to come natural, right? It's getting to the knockout. After D'Amato dies, Mike Tyson wants to immediately knock somebody out every single match. He wants to immediately drop them. There's no lead up. There's no getting to the knockout. The knockout is right there as soon as the bell rings. And that's why Mike Tyson prime was around that time rather than after he got out of jail. Now, we have reached the Final Four, Kenny. We have Sugar Ray Robinson from 1947 versus Floyd Mayweather from 2017.
Here is something you can't understand. How I can just kill a man.
Let me stop you right there, Kenny. In order for Sugar Ray Robinson to commit murder, he has to connect.
Yeah.
Which is damn near impossible to do against Floyd Mayweather in 2017. You can't land shit against Floyd Mayweather in 17. Not a fucking thing.
I could.
No. God couldn't punch Floyd Mayweather in 2017. On everything. Listen, I hate Floyd Mayweather. And that was literally the reason why I hated Floyd Mayweather.
No one can hit him.
He couldn't land shit. You simply couldn't. So, with that being said, how does Sugar Ray Robinson commit murder? Can't.
One mean body shot. And then
no, because it was a headshot that killed the man. So it has to be a headshot that ends the fight.
One mean shot to the body, then a mean shot to the head.
He has to connect. He has to connect.
Mayweather undefeated.
It pisses me off to say it too, Kenny, but Mayweather outboxes Sugar Ray Robinson. That leaves a terrible taste in my mouth, my nigga. A terrible taste in my mouth.
So Floyd is in the finals.
Unbelievable. I know. So on the other side, we have the ultimate fantasy match. Ali from 1971, Mike Tyson, 1988. This is the one everyone loved to play on Fight Night Champion, Kenny.
Yes, it is. I'm giving it to Ali, though.
Well, how does it get there?
He makes the fight go long. Tyson don't like being drugged out to that deep water. Mm-hmm. We all know this.
Now, prior to this match, Kenny, Muhammad Ali predicted that Mike Tyson goes down in round 7. Mike Tyson declares committed murder on Muhammad Ali. He will eat his babies. Praise to Allah. So this is already a shit-talking fest. You know what I'm saying? Prior to the match. Like, both of these boxers are proficient in shit-talking. Where Muhammad Ali is taunting you, Mike Tyson is threatening you. No, not necessarily threatening, guaranteeing you. So that's an ominous, calm before the storm right there. The fact that Mike Tyson is guaranteeing that Muhammad Ali doesn't live past 1971. Whereas Muhammad Ali is predicting you're going down in 7. And that's that on that. Right? So let's get into the match, shall we? Well, first bell rings. Mike Tyson immediately goes for the jugular. So he goes body shot, jab, right hook. Right? Mm-hmm. The body shot lands. He misses the jab. But since Ali tried to sway left, he eats that right hook. Just like that, Muhammad Ali's a stun move.
Well,
right? Well, Mike Tyson proceeds to close the show, attempt to close the show, but he can't land. Why? Because although Ali weebles and wobbles, he doesn't fall. So while Mike Tyson's trying to land that ducking left hook, Ali throws one jab. He misses that jab during the duck. As Mike Tyson throws that hook, boom, lean back. Stung like a bee. Now Ali has the confidence in knowing his enemy. He proceeds to poke and prod at Mike Tyson for another 3 to 4 rounds. Right? All the while, Mike Tyson does knock Ali down in the 3rd round. Ali pops back up after 5 seconds. We get to round 6. And at the end of round 6, Muhammad Ali almost goes down. We get to 7. And in the first minute of the 7th round, Mike Tyson tries to go for one more hook. Bam! Ali catches him with a right uppercut. Tyson immediately drops. All right, cool. I'm up after 3. Now Tyson's out for blood. With that being said, he's no longer focused. Ali immediately takes advantage. Bang! Drops him with a left hook. Match is over.
Yep. I thought Ali advances.
Ali wins in 7. Here we are now. Entertain us, Kenny. Floyd Mayweather, 2017. Muhammad Ali, 1971. Now, Kenny, this match is utterly fucking boring. Let's start there. This is the boringest fucking match ever. All right? Why? Because nobody can hit each other. Nobody can hit each other. All right? Yeah, Ali has the quickest jab in boxing history. Yes. he's still merely grazing Floyd Mayweather with these jabs. All right? Anything Floyd Mayweather throws, he's too short. So Ali can immediately, lean back and just sway left and right off that. Right. So now Floyd Mayweather has to fight inside if he wants to achieve anything. Well, that's his downfall because Floyd Mayweather is not an inside fighter. We know this. Floyd Mayweather is actually an outside fighter like Muhammad Ali. However, Floyd Mayweather doesn't have the reach that Muhammad Ali does have. So he can't fight the same fight that Muhammad Ali fights. Now he has to actually go out and punch.
Right.
And that's how Muhammad Ali wins.
Yep, Muhammad Ali beats Floyd.
Yep. Now, not for nothing, it does go a full 12-15. Because, again, it's a boring fucking fight. No one goes down. But Ali gets the better of Floyd Mayweather off the simple fact that he just outboxes Floyd Mayweather off the fact that Floyd Mayweather has to completely abandon his boxing style in order to beat Ali, or in order to attempt to beat Ali. Because again, we know that Floyd Mayweather revels in Philly shelling his way out of, every boxing match, essentially. So you take that away from him, I don't see Floyd Mayweather doing anything productive against Ali. Now, not for nothing, Floyd Mayweather can knock you out. He can. It has happened before in his career. He doesn't have the reach. And this is all about the sweet science. Floyd Mayweather doesn't have that reach to connect to Ali's jaw or body hard enough. So anything that connects with Ali that's supposed to be the knockout punch, Ali's just eating that shit. Because Ali also has a chin. So now we get to a point where Ali's just styling on Floyd Mayweather. I'm talking about Floyd Mayweather's trying to go in for the punch. Nah, jab, yard stick. Jab, yard stick. Jab, jab, straight. Jab, shuffle, straight. You know what I'm saying? So, and at that point, it just goes left for Mayweather for the rest of the fight because he can't figure out how to come back from it. So, yeah, Ali wins. That being said, at 56 wins, 5 losses, Muhammad Ali is the greatest boxer of all time.
Which I'm pretty sure everybody at home kind of figured that, though.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like a no-brainer. But again, you also had the likes of Mike Tyson. You also had the likes of Sugar Ray Robinson. You even had Sugar Ray Leonard at some point that could have possibly, given Muhammad Ali a run for it. Nah.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Muhammad Ali. With I believe it was a 79-inch reach. No, 80-inch reach. At 6'3", it was very hard to beat Muhammad Ali. Like, if you were to beat Ali, it was because he was older. And that it showed in his record. Ken Norton actually had the blueprint in beating a primal Muhammad Ali, in which it turned out to be a fluke because Muhammad Ali turned around and whooped his ass. So, pound for pound, Ali's the greatest.
Indeed.
Ken, you got any final thoughts?
No.
Huh?
Not a one. No final thoughts.
Oh, all right. I got a couple.
All right.
I'll start off lightly. Number 1, I finished Love is Blind today.
Oh, time.
That is such a fucking messy show. Oh my God, that show is messy. We all know that I'm a messy bitch that lives for drama sometimes. And boy, oh boy, did it deliver.
Did you like when Jessica left your boy at the altar?
Nah. I hated Jessica. I hate her so much.
Everybody hates Jessica, bro.
I hate her. Oh, she was the fucking worst. The worst. Bar none. Like,
I don't think nobody hates
for
Jessica.
discussion.
I don't think nobody hates Jessica as much as Tangy hates Jessica.
I don't know if I should even contest that, because it's like, yes, she's a fucking worst, but it's like, that's as far as I go.
Tangy cannot stand Jessica, bro. She's terrible. She said, nope. Would you like to express your thoughts on Jessica? She said, man.
That explains a lot. Actually, Kenny and Kelly, that one was a shock.
I told you that was going to get you.
Oh, man, that shocked the hell out of me. I did not see that one. That one
they looked so perfect together, like they were just going to be all right.
Listen, I thought that was going to happen. Like, that was the shoe-in. You know what I'm saying? Even over Cameron and Lauren.
Nah.
But she lied.
I rooted for Cameron and Lauren.
She lied, because if you remember in the reunion, she was talking about how she had this friend who was her so-called close friend, best friend, who they started dating and all of that bullshit. I call bullshit. I feel like they had been messing with each other, and at the last minute, she decided to go with the friend instead of Kent.
Well,
there you have it, folks. That is a very formidable theory. Very formidable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you think, don't it? Regardless, Kenny handled that well.
Yes, he did.
Very well. He handled that with such class.
Because Kenny's know how to handle situations.
Jessica was a bitch.
And there's the take on
then
Jessica.
You have what was what's his name?
Who?
Fucking the bro.
Oh, Barnett.
What was his girl's name?
Amber.
I was so glad Amber checked the shit out of her. Like, don't sit up here and act like you was throwing yourself at him every chance you got, and then you was getting drunk and trying to blame it on the drunkenness for you acting crazy.
That's what she doing.
No, you grinding. You fucking Wonder Bread bitch. No, nobody got time for that. You nasty heifer. And they got the nerve to wait until the bachelorette party to come up to her and try to start some shit. I would have, bitch. Excuse you. He don't want you anyway. Have you not been reading the body language? How do you try to convince a man to want you while trying to get him away from the girl that he didn't propose to you? He don't want you. Please. You led Mark on the entire time, using him as a placeholder. You grimy Wonder Bread bitch.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you? He was in the mic. If I knew the Mark, I swear to God, how dare you? This is why we can't. This is exactly why it ain't no good men, because the bitches like Jessica. And then the nasty bitch won't. Now, I didn't catch this at first, but she gonna let the dog drink out her. Like, you don't need it.
Yo, I was disgusted.
I had to watch it again. You nasty. You don't need to. Disgust me. What the hell is wrong with you, Jessica?
Dummy, literally, my reaction when I saw that,
my God! Oh my God!
She did. Nasty ass. No, nobody. Yeah, go get. All she want to do is be home and be by herself and get drunk with her dog. Like,
Essentially, she ain't need to be there for real. But like, my thing is, yeah, like you said, Tangy, like Amber, like G checked her at the reunion. I was like, oh yeah, put that shit in my veins because it needed to happen. That needed to happen. Like that area needed to be clear. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I believe Jessica when she said she wasn't trying to take her man.
See,
take her man, my ass. That bitch had a plan, and that's what I told you. That the only reason she
look
really
at me.
stayed was because
She talking. You listen to me, nigga. That naivety gonna get you in trouble. Stop that.
Nigga, what?
You know what I'm saying? Stop.
I did that for a reason.
she stayed.
You stop that then.
Chance to throw herself.
Then what's it? Carlton and Diamond.
Carlton.
That shit. Did you see that bullshit? That apology he tried to give her, and it was cringy as fuck.
It was cringy, but it wasn't bullshit. Come on, man.
Nah, I don't care. Everything about him screams I'm fake. Because no, just because you aren't certain about your sexuality, don't put your cringiness on somebody else. Like, go be cringy alone.
You're right.
I don't understand that. Like, how you gonna get, and then you go, oh, I'm gonna give you this ring, and we gonna be cool, and like, yeah, no. First you came for my wig, bitch. Then you had the nerve to try to, I don't mess with bitches like you. You don't mess with bitches, period, you gay ass. Get the fuck away from me, first of all.
Tangy.
You don't.
Tangy. Lower your voice, darling. It's 12 at night. Tangy.
Before you call me one.
Tangy.
I'm just
lower your
waiting
voice.
in here.
12 o'clock.
That shit made me cringe in my heart and soul. Because Tangy.
Are you wrong? No. Are you loud? Very.
Yes. Very much so.
But
Tangy. What did we talk about? Echoes in the room.
However, in her defense, I've never known Tangy to have an inside voice. I'm just saying.
No, but still.
So there's that. Like, yeah, you love that shit.
No, you said you're wrong, but you're very loud.
She was classy the time. I feel like she represented herself very well. He was cringy as fuck. He was rude. He was defensive. He already had his plan of action in his head and determined what he just knew she was going to be a ratchet hoe and just say all this mean stuff to him. And she was not that. And then he treated her. Then I feel like his apology was bullshit because, excuse you, with your gay ass, it wasn't coming from a place of he just wanted to apologize. No, he got attacked online because nobody was feeling him and backing him up. So he then had to, in turn, when he saw her again, give this bullshit ass apology so he would try to get some sympathy. And it still didn't warrant any sympathy from nobody. Granted his apology and giving her a ring and all that, but still, you already set the tone for your personality, so that's what you need to run with, nigga. I don't understand that. Don't put yourself out there and then get upset because people aren't down with your fake struggle.
With your gay ass.
With your gay ass.
I'd like to wrap up this first half of my thought by saying I'm so glad that Cameron and Lauren stay together, even through the reunion. That was my favorite. That was my favorite couple, low-key. Everyone loved Lauren. Everyone loved Lauren. She was so dope.
Hey, everybody saw Lauren was like, damn, that's Lauren.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, listen. It sounds mushy to be talking about reality TV shows like this, but hey, Cameron is a lucky guy, a very lucky guy. That shit gave me hope.
Hey, you want to submit your application to season 2?
Actually, I was talking to my friend Thalia, because that's who put me onto the show. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. And she asked, she was like, "You peep the season 2?" I was like, "Oh my god, there's going to be a season 2." I was like, it can only get messier from here. Like, season 1 the first season for shows sets the tone for the show. You know what I'm saying? It lets you know what to expect. This season was wild as a first season. I'm terrified for season 2. Terrified.
Indeed.
However, if I may get to the second half of my final thought of the evening, and I'll try to be as short as possible. I actually took the day off from Facebook today. I don't know if you've noticed, Kenny, Tangi, but I immediately just like had to mentally clock out. And that's the first time I've ever had to log out, you know what I'm saying? Or unplug, as they say. And that shit wasn't even cathartic. Like, you know how people say, like, it just feels good to finally unplug and not worry about what other people are saying and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Right. That shit was whack. That was whack as fuck. But it was needed because I was honestly getting extremely tired with my timeline. Because all I saw was just things that, like, either bothered the hell out of me or just outright disgusted me or pissed me off. Like, all right, this whole producer battle thing on IG bothers the hell out of me. And the reason why it bothers the hell out of me is because just 2 to 3 months ago, I was dying on the hill of the music y'all are listening to for competition on IG now. And y'all spent it slandering for the new music that y'all listening to now.
Who is y'all?
I'm saying y'all, the audience. And they know who they are because they are the ones that made these motherfuckers popular. Personally, I think it's their fault. And the reason why it upsets me is because me personally, music is like, it's something that I take passionately. It's something that has talked me out of it. You know what I'm saying? So it means the world to me that somebody is telling their story in a poetic fashion, or in some type of poetic fashion, I should say. Because to be completely honest, I'm not 100% a Wale fan. I love his lyrical content. However, I hate his delivery because he delivers them like he's telling a bad joke and he's asking you if you get it. So it's like, but otherwise, like, I fuck with Wale heavy. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I don't like about him. And that's what kind of keeps me from listening to his music. Not to say that I don't, because I do. But yeah, like so I like lyricists that can rap about their subject matter, but not only can they rap about it, the shit is flowing amazingly. Everything he's saying is on point and clean. The things that he is saying doesn't sound like the stereotypical nigga. And by what I mean by the stereotypical nigga is what white America portrays if they were to wear blackface. Now, y'all don't want to hear that shit. Y'all are probably saying, Carlos, that's why I fucked up. Fuck you. All right? Plain and simple. Because this is what it is. And it bothers the hell out of me that the music that everybody want to listen to is just atrocious to me. It's one thing to say that it's not my cup of tea, but when everything sounds like a semi-ominous beat in which there's most likely all types of random weird synths, some sounds that probably shouldn't be there, and the rapper is most likely using autotune. And I personally hate autotune. Friends of mine have made me realize that autotune is needed, it's essential. But if it's heavily autotune, I hate that shit. Plain and simple. Because you sound like a fucking robot. That's stupid. Period. All right? That being said, the producer IG battles annoys the hell out of me because when this is all said and done, because we're bored. That's why. Because we're bored. Once this virus thing's over and everybody can go back outside and go back to their regular lives, we're going to go back to completely forgetting about the music that we grew up on. And that pisses me off thoroughly. So this whole, IG battle stuff, it just feels like a slap in the face to me, and that's why I don't engage in it. And that's why I wanted to explain to you earlier, Kenny, but that shit, it kind of dragged along. The Facebook status update games. They don't bother me, okay? The Facebook status games don't bother me. Those are fun. When you tell me to copy and paste it onto my status, no, that's where I draw the line. I'll participate in your reindeer games so long as I'm not copying and pasting. Because here's my thing. Ever since I've started my Facebook in I want to say it was 2010.
What a long time.
I restrict myself to one solo status update a day. So that means a status update where it's literally just words and not media, pictures or video or anything like that to accompany it. I limit myself to one status a day. Why? Because after one status, you might as well go to Twitter. That's always been my logic on it. So the little status update game, I like to go on your profile and participate along with you. And once you tell me your color's red, you go do it now. Yeah, no, that's where fun time is over for me. Sorry, that's not my bag. It's never been my bag either. I used to find it very annoying when people used to do that on a consistent basis, thinking that people would respond to them, and it'd be the lamest motherfuckers that responded to them. And I used to just laugh at them like that. And it felt very elitist of me to do, but whatever. So the last thing that absolutely disgusts me is this theory that the coronavirus is derived from 5G radiation. Let me put it to you like this, right? No matter how well put together you can string this theory along to the point where it makes sense, it's not the case. Period. And it absolutely disgusts me and enrages the fuck out of me that y'all will fix y'all motherfucking mouths to misinform everybody else that are fucking panicking over this shit. And if they're not panicking, they're dying over this shit. So that's a slap in the face to the people that are dying to this coronavirus and their families that got to mourn their deaths. You're talking about, oh, it's radiation. No, it's a fucking flu. Okay? It's a virus that is based off an unknown animal, which we may think it's a bat. Some animals that are not supposed to be consumed, they tend to consume in China. Why? Because there is no food restrictions like we have the FDA in America. There's no FDA in China that I know of, at least, that I've read. There's no restrictions on what type of animals can be processed and eaten. So they'll eat roughly anything for the thrill of it. That's the culture. Well, this culture fucked that up. All right. So now we had a motherfucker that was patient goddamn zero infecting others who ended up traveling out of country. That's been the news report on every news outlet on TV. And these are news outlets that are either left-wing or right-wing, heavily influenced. And they're both coming to an agreement. This is the same story that is on the internet news archives. And to add even more truth to this, a couple of months back, I was on Twitter and I saw a dude from out of Wuhan. And he was dropping knowledge on what was going on out in China and how they dropped the ball, leading to this outbreak. And let's keep in mind, in China, there's a restriction against that. That's punishable by death. So if they found, that this was in America, like, he managed to get this information out to the rest of the world instead of in restricted China, he's as good as dead. Why would you play with your fucking life like that? You don't. All right? So, I say that to say this. He said that. What happened was exactly what I just told you. There was a patient zero that consumed something that disagrees with the human immune system, because there are animals that have bacteriums that do disagree with the human immune system. So he consumed something of that, was infected from it. It was a flu that mutated because of these, bacteria. So you get this infection, which is ultra contagious, and you're pretty much spreading it when you walk into a hospital to get treated for whatever's going on with you, because you don't feel good, but you don't know what the fuck's going on. So now, roughly everybody on that floor contaminated. These are people that, probably had a plane trip to go on the next week or something like that. They go out, and now they're infecting people on the plane. So in case you haven't noticed the trend here, it's just an ultra contagion that is progressively spreading widespread across the country, because A, nobody knows exactly whether or not the fuck they have it until they get tested for it. And B, and I round back to the crackpot radiation theory, which might add is yet another one of those ridiculous ass hotep theories in which woke motherfuckers take a nap. The radiation theory is moot because radiation can only travel up to 50 miles away, right? Not to mention the fact that 5G isn't across the entire world. There are some places that don't have them, and yet those places are within the outbreak of the coronavirus flu. So no matter how much you try to circle it, that, you know, radiation travels wide, it doesn't travel wide enough. Humans, you know, can get sick off radiation, sure. But if that's the case, we'd be fucked every time we use a microwave. So it's like, no matter how much, you know, they try to make you look stupid, or in my case, make me look stupid, I already know for a fact that I am right because I actually sat and, you know, independently researched this at random times. And it's, you know, times where it's like, I don't set out to look for it. It's times where it comes up on my timeline and I literally have to think, well, how come is this coming up? How important is it? Because that's the first thing I think of before I look at anything. How important is it? Because if it's not that important, I'm not going to look at it. But this was extremely important because of the circumstance. So that's my final thought on that. My final thought is call the coronavirus flu for what it is, not for what it's not. Do not misinform these people and tell them that it's radiation, because now you're going to have motherfuckers afraid of using their microwaves. You're going to have motherfuckers afraid of, you know, using their cell phones, using any type of, you know, mobile device, any type of like all electronics has some type of radiation on them. Like everything around us that is, you know, that works otherwise electronically have some sort of radiation in it. So we would have been dead. So to tell me that that 5G is somehow a highly concentrated radiation as opposed to 4G, which I think again is bullshit, because again, how is 5G suddenly the most powerful when 4G was the most powerful of this 6-7 years ago? Remember that? Shut the fuck up. That's enough. Bring it on, Kenny.
Yeah. With that being said, my name is Kenneth Whitaker, a.k.a. Hendrick Soul, the original owner of the Millennial Falcon. That's right, Calrissian. Told you were going to suffer, just like Han did. Nah.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
That actually works. I like that.
Yeah, it does work. You do that first. A.k.a. the Black Hot Rod. Whoops, I skipped one. A.k.a. Well, play my music for Black Hot Rod right now, since I did that.
Actually, your bagpipe player died from coronavirus.
Oh, damn.
Very sad. It's very sad. Well, he was a good man, Kenny. I really think you should know that. This isn't a joke. I like to treat our characters, every one of our characters, Kenny, like they're actual people. So, like how you almost cried when Potter died.
Yeah.
I tend to keep that same energy. With that being said, rest in peace, Seamus McGee.
Rest in peace. And with that being said, wash your hands and stay home. AKA
That's another thing. Wash your hands frequently. Wash your hands, wash your ass frequently. Because gloves only cross-contaminate. And you just make an ass out of yourself, especially when you just randomly throw them away in litter. You dumb motherfuckers.
aka the last Black Jedi, feel the Force around you. Because if you don't, it's gonna be a problem. Yeah. Call me the Black Yoda, aka Bloater. Bloater, bitch.
I'll let it slide. No. I'll take it.
Breaking news: R. Kelly has tested positive for she wasn't 19. Jesus Christ.
Wait. Here. That's all I was looking for. Tell me why.
AKA Nacho Man, I'm a savage. Ooh, yeah, here I am, still in quarantine, locked down, and no hoes have access. I love it when the hoes don't have access. Gives me free ability to be myself and just kick my feet up and eat all the Slim Jims I want. Yeah. But see, one thing you gotta understand is it's not just any Slim Jim. It's the nacho flavor Slim Jim for the Nacho Man. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Nacho Man, I'm a Savage from his personal convenience store located in the corridor of his mansion.
Why are these prices so high?
That's a problem if you're asking that question in your own home.
Right, exactly. AKA Mr. Go Slick Vodka. Why did you park in a staff parking lot? Because you know you're not staff. I know that, faggot. I know that.
Fuck. I got Coke all over my sheets. God damn it.
Coca-Cola, not cocaine. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, not cocaine. Coca-Cola, not cocaine.
No, it's Coca-Cola.
I mean, you know, people like to say stuff, you know.
I don't do Coke, guys. There was that one time, but no.
AKA the very sexual. The very tight.
Very tight, yes.
Austin Powers Faja.
Wait, is Faja?
Dad is Faja.
Oh.
No. Please eat what? He said, please eat some shiitake mushrooms.
I love how things were covering the subtitles. I was like, wait, what? How does that happen?
Why don't I just speak English? Yes, that'd be very helpful so I don't misread the subtitles. Funny.
That worked well. Now that I think about it.
AKA
This motherfucker.
the incomparable and the one and only Bill Cosby. When I see a lovely young lady drinking water or any kind of beverage, it gives me great joy to pounce. So when I pull the Quaalude out of my pocket, the sound of success then follows. Whenever the pill drops into the beverage or the soup, whatever liquid is consumed, my face begins to make this form. He gets the bacon and cheese, basically.
Fucking hate you. All right, man. Let's bring this on home. My name is Carlos Crawford, a.k.a. Chin Music Charlie. My flex will always give me stacks, a.k.a. Thick Flair. I'm going to take that ravishing raven head with the wildest yeeks and make her mine. Woo! a.k.a. Snap Miller. All I want to do was the most. Backflip off the rope, skyhook when I'm in the post. See my girl too clutch to choke. A.k.a. Gelato Graham. Dab Brewster. Best center I had. He always put at least one lineman on his ass right after the snap. Get it, Kenny? Dabs. Snaps.
Yeah.
Put you on your ass.
Yeah.
A.k.a. Haystack West. Moose, tell them how we're passing time.
I know how I'm passing time. You may not like how I pass time.
What are you doing to pass time?
Music battles?
Okay. I would say let's go to the saloon and drink, but that's not even open.
I know.
And Kenny,
Terrible, right?
Kenny, I think we're reaching our problem here. We're running out of reefer.
Oh, no. Not good. No, reefer, no alcohol. What are we going to do? You said, what? Eat some what? Eat sandwiches. You going to make some sandwiches? Well, Haystack, we got sandwiches being made.
That's like that movie Bad standing on their grandma every 5 minutes. I'm like, gonna make you some sandwiches. Every time she woke up, you want a sandwich? Not just one sandwich, it'd be like plural. I'm like,
You read deep for that one. That was.
She said it'd be
All
like
right,
plural.
All right, this is our longest episode yet. So
Yeah.
this is episode 85. We're off this.
We out. Nah.
God.